Before there was Call of Duty or Battlefield, there was Medal of Honor. Before there was Medal of Honor, there was the granddaddy of all first-person shooters out there, Wolfenstein 3D. Wolfenstein 3D is the FPS developed by id Software and published by BFG Software. It was originally released on May 5th of 1992 for DOS, and was inspired by 1980s Muse Software video games, Castle Wolfenstein and Beyond Castle Wolfenstein. Though you weren't here to listen to that, because I'm pretty certain that most gamers in the modern generation today wouldn't care about the old school shooters of the 90s. I'm generally surprised that there are some gamers out there that remember the older FPS titles. I figured before I introduced this review, I introduced a game that started out the entire genre of first-person shooters. Why?
Because id Software's the fucking shit.
On October 16, 2012, id Software released a compilation of one of the most greatest FPS games of the entire video gaming history, Doom. Doom 3 BFG Edition included not only Doom 3, Resurrection of Evil, and its newest edition, The Lost Mission, it also includes a classic Doom and Doom 2 game to celebrate the game's 20th anniversary. It's hard to believe that Doom had come a very long way, especially if it was created after Wolfenstein 3D. Doom was released in 1993, a year after Wolfenstein 3D was released. It focused on a soldier that is known as the Doom Guy. I never really understood why he never had a name to begin with, but if he did have a name, I'd proudly give him the title of Mr. Smith's long-lost cousin. Doom 2 followed when it was released in 1994, as well as numerous expansion packs including the Ultimate Doom, Master Levels for Doom 2, and Final Doom. Unfortunately, the series started to lose the mainstream appeal as the technology of the Doom game engine has surpassed in the mid-90s, but even then the fans have continued making WODs, speedruns, and modifications to the original. As a comeback, id Software then released Doom 3 in 2004, which received popular attention from its fans, newcomers and veterans alike. This game retold the original game using new technology, unfortunately followed by the crap motion picture of Doom when it released in 2005. The plot wasn't really heavy considering that it was an FPS game, but the simple gameplay mechanics, the sound, the music, just almost everything about this game is what brought out this fantastic franchise. If you are wondering about the story plot of this game, I will give you the shortest version I have available. In Doom, you travel to Mars, shit happens there. In Doom 2, you travel to Earth, shit happens there. In Doom 3, you travel back to Mars and the same shit happens there. There was really no plot of how it really happened, even though Doom 3 covers that up while you collect these items of which are needed for security clearance known as PDAs. So if you're ever curious about how the whole invasion started, you can always collect them, or go to Wikipedia. I love that website so much. Moving on to gameplay, it is very much similar to classic shooter games, presenting the player with the challenge of surviving while shooting every enemy in sight, but with its pseudo 3D first-person perspective giving environments a spatial representation that has a major effect on the level design and gameplay experience. Doom 3 introduced us to the flashlight system, which thankfully got fixed in this port with the tap of the button to turn on a flashlight instead of swapping weapons to the flashlight to use it. Thank you, id Software! Anyway, the objective in each level is to simply locate the exit room that leads to the next area, marked with an exit sign or a special kind of door, while surviving all hazards along the way. Among the obstacles are demonic monsters, pits of toxic or radioactive slime, ceilings that lower and crush you, and locked doors for which a keycard, a skull-shaped key device, or a remote switch must be located. The levels are sometimes labyrinthine and feature plenty of items such as additional ammo, health increase, and other power-ups along the way, as well as the occasional secret areas. To ease navigation through the levels, a full-screen all-map is available and it shows the areas explored to that point. Doom is notable for the weapons arsenal available to the player, which became prototypical for first-person shooters. Along with that are a wide array of power-ups. If you want to take advantage of the game and try to complete your objectives, you'd have to find every single item that you come across. The monsters in Doom make up for the central gameplay element. You face them in large numbers, with the number increased when the higher the game's 5 difficulty levels is chosen when starting a new game. Luckily, the enemies will fight each other when one monster is accidentally harmed by another, which makes your objective slightly easier, though most monsters are not harmed by the range attacks of their own kind. You have to watch out for this if you want to take this up to your advantage. Aside from the single-player game mode, Doom and Doom 2 features 2 multiplayer modes playable over a network, Cooperative and Deathmatch. Doom 3 only covered one basic multiplayer mode, Deathmatch. For this being the re-release of Doom 3, the graphics have definitely improved for the last 8 years. Unfortunately, Doom and Doom 2 didn't get the treatment, but it was rather nice to finally play the games that have made its mark in my childhood. If I had to say something for the graphics on Doom and Doom 2, I'd say that even for 20 years, it still has aged very well. Back then the graphics were a bit more cartoony and the animations were pretty solid for a DOS game. Although the games were indeed the ported versions, the sound quality is definitely a nostalgia to listen to. Whether you pick up an item, pick up a new weapon, kill an enemy, activate a switch, so on and so forth, you always still get that feeling that you've accomplished so much when you do something on the game, and that's saying a hell of a lot. If graphics weren't enough for the two classic games, the music just adds on to the nostalgia cake. To this day, I never get tired of listening to the music from all the classic Doom games. It definitely gets the adrenaline going in your body that drives you forward to try to complete your objective. Sadly, Doom 3 didn't bring the music to the table, but at least you get a kick-ass menu and ending theme, right? I miss my music from Doom when I played Doom 3. Overall, Doom is widely regarded as one of the most influential titles in gaming history. Although the popularity of the Doom games dropped with the release of more modern first-person shooters, the game had still retained a strong fan base that continues to this day by playing competitively, creating WODs, and Doom-related news is still tracked at multiple websites such as Doom World. If I had someone ask me what first-person shooter happened to be my favorite, I would hands down say Doom. I've been introduced to this game since I was 5 years old, and I have not dropped a controller. This franchise have definitely brought out the most of the gamer side of me that I have not regretted pulling out. In fact, thanks to Doom, I wouldn't be into most of the FPS games of the modern era. So with Doom 3 BFG Edition reviewed, the question is asked if this is a title worth picking up. Well, I would certainly have to say yes. Even though this pack is indeed the re-release of all the Doom titles, this collection is very much worth the $40 I've spent on. Although the game does offer the ported versions of Doom and Doom 2, Doom 3 and all of its expansions as well as its newest edition, The Lost Mission, have received a humongous amount of attention to detail graphics of its HD technology. All I have to say is if you're a big fan of the franchise and wonder what The Lost Mission is all about, I'd say pick this game up. 5 games for $40 isn't a bad price at all. With that said, I am the Blue Hedgehog 2010, wishing you the best of days. Happy gaming, my friends.